Stay focused and energized using G Fuel. You can use the discount code OGXRAYZ to get 10% off your entire order. Yo, what's up guys, it's XRAYZ. Welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 3 video. Now, what I have for you guys today is going to be talking about that rant that I did yesterday. It got a lot of support, a lot of people seem to agree with me, and I think while it was good for everyone to vent their frustrations out in the comment section, I think that a lot of the blame was misplaced onto Treyarch and to David Vonderhaar. If you go on Twitter, there's a lot of people who are just attacking him like crazy, and some new information actually came out as well that kind of points and says, hey, this wasn't Treyarch's idea, this was Activision forcing them to implement this into Black Ops 3. Now, this was a Reddit post, it was made 1 month ago. This was before we knew the MP40 was out, and this guy actually says that he worked with Treyarch and that he saw the process and the stuff behind the scenes of what was going on. So, I do want to say one more thing before I start summarizing what happened in this article. Treyarch and David Vonderhaar were very much against the idea of supply drops. They were very much against it. They said that Black Ops 3 would not have supply drops. And then 2 months later, or about 3 months later, they ended up having to implement supply drops because Activision wanted the money. So even though David Vonderhaar was against it, even though the majority of the staff at Treyarch was against it, they were forced to do it. And the reason I'm making this video is because David Vonderhaar and Treyarch are going to get unnecessary hate when the ones who made the final decision and were the ones who were, if you want to call them money grubby or money hungry, desperate for money, it was Activision, it was not David Vonderhaar. And as we all know, later that year, David Vonderhaar announced that this might be his last time working on a Call of Duty. This was after they were forced to implement supply drops into the game and before anyone knew that supply drops were coming to the game. So I think that maybe he was so frustrated because he knew that even though that these supply drops were going to be put in the game, there was going to be a lot of backlash from the community and all the unnecessary hate was going to go to him and to Treyarch, who had done nothing wrong. So let me give you guys a quick summary of the article. If you guys want to read it, I will have it down below. It's on Reddit. It was made a month ago. Definitely check it out. It's a really interesting read. I'm just going to give you guys a quick summary of what it says. So as I mentioned, supply drops were not planned for Black Ops 3 until July of last year. It was at that point that Activision said they needed to put in supply drops into the game. Treyarch actually ended up negotiating with them and saying, hey, we're going to do it, but we want to do only cosmetic stuff. Activision said, fine, but if you don't meet sales within a month, then you have to add in weapons. So the wrench, the butterfly knife, the variants, etc., because they knew that they weren't game breaking and it would be something that would hopefully prevent them from having to full on put weapons like the MX Garand, the Marshall 16, and the MP40 into supply drops. Unfortunately, that didn't quite work out and the sales were much lower than advanced supply drops for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and they ended up getting stiff-armed and told that they needed to put regular weapons into supply drops as well. Now he goes on to say that before they were forced to do this, the MX Garand, the Marshall 16, and the MP40 were 3 weapons that were planned to be released with DLC 1, with Awakening, as part of the map pack, which means people who bought the season pass and people who bought the map pack would automatically get these weapons. But because of the sales of the COD points with people who are interested in the melee weapons, etc., they were much lower than they expected. Activision actually ended up forcing them to put these weapons on hold and put some of them in supply drops. So the MX Garand and the Marshall 16 were put in supply drops, and the MP40 was actually put on hold. And again, this post was made a month ago before we knew the MP40 was coming to Call of Duty Black Ops 3. So the MP40 was put on hold and then forced to be put in supply drops as well. So the one big thing I want you guys all to take from here is David Vonderhaar and Treyarch and the staff at Treyarch ended up fighting this as much as they could, but you can't tell no to a multi-billion-dollar company. And the other thing was that they were planning on putting these DLCs in the map packs, but unfortunately they were stiff-armed and they told them, no, you can't do it. The next thing is Treyarch staff, David Vonderhaar, the guys there are not making any money from the supply drops from the COD points. The ones making the money are the people at Activision and maybe even the super higher up guys at Treyarch, but the guys who are busting their ass, who are working with the community, who are trying to address issues, are the ones who are not making any money off it. So this isn't even something that you could say, oh, they went along with it later on because of the money, because they aren't making any money from it. Now, he does go on some very interesting stuff here towards the bottom that talks about what we might see in the future. And I'm going to read this, so let me know what you guys think. It says, more weapons. Imagine the completely finished MP40 will come out someday. Again, this was made a month ago, and it's true. Specialists, there are 2 new specialists planned to come. Now, the cool thing about this one is they're going to be in supply drops, but they're also going to be offering these guys as a separate buy, which is awesome. Now, they said weapon skins are going to be coming also to Call of Duty Black Ops 3, possibly the Kuda with an MP5 skin, KN44 with an AK-47 skin, and there was also plans that these variants would be accessible through the Gunsmith, but with the success of COD points, it says don't be shocked if they inevitably become separate weapons entirely, so that kind of sucks. HUD skins, calling cards, camos, emblem textures, announcer packs are all part of the supply drops, and more content behind a microtransaction paywall is likely to happen. Now, the other thing was that they tried to make it so that you could buy the weapons separately, but then Activision wouldn't be making money, as we all know, so they forced them to not be able to do that. So there we go. I wanted to make a video like that because I made the video yesterday. I ended up changing the title. I ended up changing the thumbnail because at first I was really upset. I started blaming David Vonderhaar, started blaming Treyarch, but at the end of the day, if your boss tells you to do something, you have to do it. Either that or you quit. We already know that David Vonderhaar said that he plans on quitting after this game, and it's probably because of that same thing. So there we go, guys. Please don't tweet at David Vonderhaar. Please don't tweet at Treyarch and attack them because of these supply drops, etc. It's not their fault. It's something that was made a decision by the higher ups at Activision. They're not even making money off it, the guys from Treyarch, so it's not really fair to them either. And if you want to point hate at someone, do it to Activision. They are the ones who made the final decision. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Once again, check out the article. I will have it down below. If you guys could, please make sure to share the video because there's a lot of people who are bringing unnecessary hate to David Vonderhaar and Treyarch, and I really want to kind of make sure people are informed. So please leave a like on the video. Share it around just so people can see it. If you guys enjoyed the video, if it was informative, obviously if you want to, make sure to subscribe. It does help me out and it is very much appreciated. And if you guys want to keep talking about this subject, Twitter is the best place to do so. Go ahead and follow me over there along with Instagram and Facebook, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.